Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Is that good? Wait, do we both get the flag?
Hello. Hello. Welcome, Wolverines fans, to the 2020 Belen Jesuit football season opener. Belen Jesuit is squaring off against the Archbishop McCarthy Mavericks and are looking to showcase their revamped offense in Coach Don Chaney's first official season. We will also see new offensive coordinator Dylan Potts debut. The Wolverines have gone through many challenges throughout the offseason, but are looking forward to finally starting the season.
Yeah, Jose, I'm really excited for this season. You know, traditionally the Wolverines have run a run-based, run-heavy offense, but with the graduation of Don Chaney, a new head coach taking over, we're going to see a more pass-heavy spread offense, which is something we really haven't seen in years. So it'll be a fun game to watch.
I spoke with one of the starting receivers for the Wolverines, Roberto Lozama. Said that the offense is very simple and it's very easy to learn offense. It's adaptable and it's a quick playbook to learn. It's very efficient also.
Yeah, I heard that too. They're trying to bring in a lot of spread concepts, which are traditionally a lot of passing, fast tempo, less plays, just a lot of option routes, deep routes. Just let's see what Don Chaney has in store for this first game of the season. I know the new offensive coordinator they brought in has won a lot of games in his career. He's regarded as a bright, young offensive mind, so we'll see what we're going to get here.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the Wolverines are going to open up the season, especially with the long off season, as I mentioned, throughout the pandemic. You know, high schools across America went through shutdowns. You know, they had to delay their practices, etc. But once the Wolverines started to practice again, their coach, Don Chaney, told me that they were playing with a lot of energy and looked very determined.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to see how the pandemic affects this season. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of effects over high school football. Obviously, with socially distanced fans, there'll be less home crowd behind them. Hopefully, they still find a way to conjure up the energy to give it their all for this first game.
So the Wolverines are gonna receive the ball to open up the season. Archbishop McCarthy will be kicking it off. So we're gonna open it up, and the Wolverines are going to be able to showcase their offense immediately.
All right, this first drive will dictate a lot, as it'll see if they're getting a good flow and rhythm to start the game.
And a short kick, and it's recovered around the 46-yard line.
Looked like they were trying to get a squib kick past there, maybe Belen have some trouble fielding it, but one of the up men was able to field it before it could get deep, giving this Belen offense great field position to start the game.
Yeah, this is fantastic field position, as we're going to be able to see the Wolverines open up with their offense and their stud wide receivers in Stefan Borrero and Roberto Lozama. And they also have a great running back in Hayden Puente, who is the backup for Don Shaney.
Belen's first play in the spread offense.
Shotgun formation. Hits the receiver for about a 7-yard gain. It's about a gain of 8 yards. And another screen pass to the opposite side of the field. Oh, nice cut in. And he's going down the sideline. He's finally pushed out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Well, that's an impressive start for this Belen spread offense. We're already seeing it. Quick passes, efficient, those 2 screens getting out, and they're just picking up a lot of yardage and some chunk plays and passing, which is not something we were accustomed to seeing last year.
And they're already showing that high tempo offense pretty quickly out of the gates. And it looks like they're moving the ball back.
I think we're going to get a penalty on the play.
I'm not sure what the call is here.
Second down on 11.
So it's 2nd down and 11. I'm not sure what the call was that forced them to move the ball back.
That negates a 21-yard gain from Belen. Big momentum killer early in this drive.
And they hand the ball off to Hayden Puente up the middle. Picks up a few yards there.
This sets up a big 3rd down for this Belen offense. We talked about how important this first drive is to get the rhythm and the tempo of that spread offense going and to give the players some confidence in the new system. So this 3rd down is a big test.
See Roberto Lozama lining up on the outside. Up the middle, Hayden Puente gets, oh, he breaks loose. Hayden Puente plowing through the Mavericks defense.
What a run by Hayden Fuente there. That's a running back with some power. Bounce off multiple tackles. Just when it looked they had him short of the 1st down, he just kept turning his legs and picking up yardage. Something that's very impressive to see and a good start for this Belen offense.
And look how efficient the offense is right now. They're already starting to play something you really didn't see last season. And shotgun formation. Bad snap, Hayden Puente up the middle, picks up a few yards.
New starting quarterback, true freshman Alberto Mendoza has looked pretty impressive here. Looks like he has good control and command of the offense. And, I mean, it's something we're not accustomed to seeing. Last year they lost the last game 7-0, and it was clear that some changes need to be made. And Don Chaney has made those changes. Yeah,
he's looked like he's done a really good job. Mendoza throws the ball downfield, and he misses. I believe that was...
It was unclear which receiver he was targeting. Had 2 receivers in the area, one on a post corner and one looking deep. Just shot it in between the both of them. A little more, a little less on that pass, and Belen might have a 1st down. But
yeah, not a great pass by Mendoza as he was rolling out from the pocket.
Tough to make those kind of throws on the move.
But decent protection also from the offensive line as they had some struggles last season. And a bad snap, Mendoza under a lot of pressure. And he takes a big, he breaks through the hit, and he's finally taken down for a loss of yardage.
Probably should have gotten rid of that ball a little earlier. Those are the kind of mistakes a true freshman will make. But still, great job avoiding the sack, able to get back to around the line of scrimmage, and won't cost him anything. Really, really good play by Alberto Mendoza there.
Did a great job trying to extend the play for the Wolverines. Mendoza alone in the backfield. Mendoza drops back in the pocket, and it's picked off. Oh, it's dropped by the corner.
He had junior wide receiver Robbie Lisama, who beat the corner deep, but unfortunately underthrew it, which led to an easy interception for. But I mean, it's a good start. I mean, the spread offense showed movement. Receivers were open. A bad throw, but you can expect those kind of mistakes from a true freshman quarterback. So as long as they keep the ball moving consistently, churning out yardage like they did on that drive, I think it'll be a pretty good game for Belen.
Yeah, and that was a great play call by Coach Potts, the new offensive coordinator. He had Lozama near the end zone there.
Yeah, the wide receivers are doing a very good job of creating separation, which is something you love to see. As Belen's always had good receivers, just hasn't thrown it to him much.
McCarthy's going to run the ball. A nice tackle made by the Wolverines.
Let's see. The Wolverines' defense has been a strong point over these past few seasons. As with the offense struggling sometimes, they've had to carry the teams, but they've done a very good job. Always had some studs in the secondary, some good players on the D-line, and once again they show that they can stop an offense with that first down stop.
A name to know in the secondary is Luis Consuegra. He's the starting safety for the Wolverines. He's currently a junior. Had a fantastic season for his sophomore year, and he's looking to continue that this year.
Yeah, very promising player for Belen right there.
And a timeout called by McCarthy.
So Jose, what do you think? What did you like there from the first possession for the Belen offense?
It was definitely high tempoed. We saw a lot more passing than we did last season, as we mainly ran the ball last year with a deep running back core. I mean, we had Hayden Puente and Don Shane in the same backfield, which is pretty impressive because we've already seen Hayden Puente off to a great start. He had a few breakout runs there.
Yeah, last year with Don, they consistently ran the ball. I want to say it was almost probably 90% run, 10% pass, a split around that area. And when Don was hurt, we did struggle, and because also the offensive line wasn't very good. That's what really impressed me on the first drive. Alberto Mendoza consistently had clean pockets, which is something we really did not see last year. And it's giving the receivers the opportunity to get downfield so we can get those deep plays with the spread.
Yeah, and it only looked like there was one play on that drive where the front seven of the Mavericks really got into the backfield and were able to put pressure on Mendoza. Evan Gill up the middle.
Good start for this Belen run defense. 2 runs, total of about 4 yards for this team. So, I mean, sets up a big 3rd and 6 here. 3rd and medium, this is where the Belen defense has to be able to get off the field. A major part of the spread is that the quick tempo tires out the opposing defense. So getting off the field and getting that other defense right back on the field is a key part of that.
And speaking of Belen's defense, they were fantastic last year at forcing turnovers. And that would be huge right here to just, punch the Mavericks right back in the mouth with getting a pick of their own. That would be great. McCarthy. And nice tackle there by the Wolverines.
Great coverage right there. Pass rush got into the backfield. Short throw. Everything was covered downfield. Great tackling. That's the perfect kind of play you want to see from a defense on 3rd and medium.
Yeah, great defense there for the Wolverines. So now we're going to see the special teams unit onto the field.
Belen also has had some very good special teams over here with the Rice kickers and the return game. I'm excited to see what we can do here.
Oh, bad snap, and it's back in the end zone, and it is going to be a touchback. And safety. Wow.
Those are the kind of plays that can really swing a game, especially early. This gives Belen already had a lot of momentum with that 3-and-out stop, but now a 2-0 lead, and the offense gets the ball back on a punt. Special teams is really where you can see a big swing, like plays like that, bad punt snaps, bad punts, punt returns, kick returns. Those kind of things are where you can see a big swing in the game. Special teams, turnovers. So a good start at Belen in all 3 facets of the game.
And that's just a lack of focus there by Archbishop McCarthy. That could have just been a clean punt. They could have executed that perfectly if they wanted to. But just a lack of focus. It didn't seem like they were really concentrating. But hopefully Belen can capitalize off of that mistake.
Exactly. It's strictly an unforced error, just a bad snap by the long snapper way over the head of the punter who never had a chance. And, I mean, that's one thing Belen will do. Belen has never been a team that will beat themselves. They don't make unforced mistakes, and they play a very clean game. So that advantage is already showing.
So we're going to get another opportunity to look at the revamped offense of the Wolverines. Hopefully they do not turn the ball over this drive.
For safety of all of us, please wear your masks.
And a very short kick by the Mavericks. And fight over the ball.
Good recovery there by number 5, freshman running back Kamani Alexander. As for a second there, it looked like Archbishop had a chance to pick up the ball. Nice little squib kick. They placed it in a good location where a lot of Belen players could not get it. I think that's what they were attempting to do on the first kickoff, and they executed it well, but it does give Belen great field position for a second straight drive.
And we're also going to see on the field another freshman player, Vic Perez, a wide receiver, stands at 5'8" and is 151 pounds. So Belen seems to be using a lot of their young talent. Mendoza drops back in the pocket. He's going to throw it downfield, and it's incomplete.
Sophomore wide receiver Stefan Borrero almost made a spectacular twisting catch. But I love what I see out of these young receivers, you know. It's pretty much mostly freshmen and sophomores with the junior and Robbie Lizama. And it'll be great to see this offense continue to develop over the years. And by their third year in the system, this team could be incredible.
You know, from watching them play over time, I've noticed that this receiving core has a lot of speed. Like, they're really fast players. And they could definitely dominate your tear up your secondary with that speed.
Wow, Hayden Fuente is really impressive. Not a lot of push from the offensive line. It looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, just like on that other run. He kept his feet moving, kept his mask going, was able to actually pick up 4 yards on that play.
Hayden Fuente is one of the strengths of this offense.
Yeah, with losing Don Chaney, there's always some worry who's going to replace him. And Hayden Fuente looks really, really good to start tonight.
Yeah, Coach Don Chaney seems to have a lot of trust for him. And there goes Fuente again. He's going to pick up a first down, running it up the gut of the defense of the Mavericks. Fantastic run there by Fuente. And he is tearing up this front seven.
He just does not go down on first contact. There's been a couple times where it looks like they had him dead, and he manages to evade the tackle and keep going. Doesn't look like a very elusive guy when you see him, but he has been very elusive so far tonight.
Mendoza is going to hand it off to Puente again. Kamani Alexander, the freshman, picks up a decent gain there, about 6 yards.
To see a freshman like that getting decent gains already at this stage of his career, once again, this is one of those guys that will continue to build up in the system with this young offense. And by the time they're seniors, watch out.
Yeah, Coach Potts is really looking forward to developing these youngsters. Kamari Alexander is stuffed and just behind the line of scrimmage, it seems.
Pretty lucky there wasn't a bigger loss on that play as a bunch of defenders just came flying through. Once again, nice job by the running back to evade all those tackles and be able to pick up at least a yard to make this a very manageable third down.
Yeah, this Mavericks defense seemed like they knew that exact play was coming. Mendoza drops back in the pocket. And he feels pressure and he is taken down. Great defense by Archbishop McCarthy.
Well, on that first drive, we raved about the Belen offensive line, and that was not good pass protection there. It really didn't look like Alberto Mendoza had much of a chance to get rid of the ball. But the O-line so far has definitely looked far better than last year, and I'm encouraged by what we've seen.
Yeah, it seems like they've made a huge improvement, and I'm sure that was one of their main focuses throughout this past offseason.
Yeah, that was definitely a major area where they struggled last year, and what was the main reasons besides the struggle behind the struggles of the team.
So here are the Wolverines to punt the ball. And a decent punt there. Great punt action. He gets a Belen bounce. And it goes into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback.
Looked like the gunners on each side almost got there. Just couldn't get to it. Bounced around a couple times inside the 10 before it bounced into the end zone for a touchback. But that's around like a 40-yard punt, which is really good, especially for a high school punter. And just to see that was good.
And the Belen has always been great when it comes to special teams. And over the past few years, they've had the Rice brothers who are fantastic.
Yeah, Javin Rice is kicking at Vanderbilt right now. Not a lot of programs can say they sent a kicker to the SEC.
Yeah, that is true. And his younger brother, Brandon Rice, was also fantastic at Belen as he had a great leg. He was able to kick the ball from very far. Against
Gulliver last year, he nailed a 52-yarder. That whole family is really, really impressive with both accuracy and distance.
And that punt there just proves that Belen's also great at punting.
Belen's always had very, very good special teams, which, I mean, if your offensive or defense is struggling, the special teams is really an area where you can, like, pick it up and make some momentum-swinging plays.
So here comes Belen's defense. They had a great outing the last time they were on the field. We'll see if they can keep that up this drive. as they forced a safety last time. They didn't necessarily force it. It was more of a mistake on the offense of the Mavericks. But
Yeah, it was a mistake on the long snapper for bad snap to the punter. But good job by the defense just to get off the field on a 3 and out. You'll take that every single time.
McCarthy from their own 20-yard line.
so McCarthy is going to run the ball with Evan Gill.
Evan Gill, we got a flag down on that play.
Really good job by Belen. Looks like Evan Gill will be a focal point for the offense for the Mavericks today. So really good job by this Belen defensive line to get penetration and stop those holes from appearing before he has a chance to hit them.
Yeah, fantastic adjustments. And pretty much every play that the Mavericks are running, Belen's defense knows what's coming. And they're doing a great job at reading those plays. They're doing fantastic jobs.
Looks like we're going to get a holding penalty here on the Mavericks, which for an offense which was already struggling, another unforced bad error that'll push them back 10 yards, making it 1st and 20.
Yeah, they're sort of just shooting themselves in the foot here, getting horrible field position now. Back at their own 10-yard line. Quarterback drops back in the pocket, he feels pressure, and he throws it, and it's caught by the receiver. Oh, he dropped it.
I'm really impressed by what I've seen out of this defensive line, both on the run game and the pass game. And a couple of dropbacks have been able to create great pressure and made the quarterback get rid of the ball there and get out of the pocket before he wanted to. Bad drop by the receiver there too.
Yeah, they had a great opportunity there. You know, the receiver was wide open, and again, these mistakes are all falling on themselves.
You're right, shooting themselves in the foot again, another unforced error, and those are the kind that'll swing a football game. You'll hear coaches talk about it all the time. The mental mistakes are the ones that you can't have.
Yeah, and Belen needs to take advantage of these mistakes. Last drive, they weren't able to capitalize off of that safety. But
a hard hit right there on Evan Gill. This defense looks awesome. Flying around the field, defensive line's wreaking havoc. The secondary's playing great coverage with a combo like that. I mean, this Belen defense could be an all-star defense this year.
Yeah, Gill seems to have no edge on this Wolverines defense. The defensive line is doing a great job just forcing the O-line of the Mavericks to just move back in the field, and just not great protection either.
Yeah, you don't see Gill picking up gains of 5, 6, 7 yards. It's 2 or 1 pretty much every time, and that'll set an offense behind the chains and lead them to failure.
Quarterback drops back in the pocket, again facing pressure, and the ball is caught for a decent gain there, about 12 yards.
You see, that's what the holding penalty and those runs do. It sets them back so the defense can sit and almost prevent coverage and leave that underneath stuff open, knowing that they can make the tackle. And you saw that play out there. The safeties were playing around the 1st down marker. They threw it in between the linebackers and the safety, kind of like that underneath area. But while it's a solid gain, it's not enough to pick up the 1st down, and this Belen offense will get a chance to show what they can do again.
So 4th and 6 for the Mavericks. Last time they had a mistake on their punt that resulted in a safety.
Good snap
Decent
this time.
snap this time. Not the best punt. Takes a Mavericks roll.
Once again, I mean, look at the starting field position of this offense. They started from the 42 twice and now the 46. The Belen defense is doing their job of putting the offense in favorable positions. And with this spread offense, if they continue to run at a high tempo like this, with the defense getting off the field, that Mavericks defense will just get exhausted from constantly having to go back out play after play and not having time to drink water and rest. So by the end of the game, this Belen offense will still have energy, and with this tired defense, they could really move on them.
You know, this Belen defense did the same thing last year. You know, they allowed the offense to start off with great field position, and that's where Don Shaney really came in the run game. And that's where Hayden Puente's coming in now. You see another 6-yard gain there for the Wolverines, or maybe 5 yards.
I love how Hayden Puente runs. Like, when he gets hit on first contact, he continues to turn his feet and falls forward. That could have been a 3-yard gain easy, but it's like 5 or 6 yards because he just kept moving and just powers through defenders and carries them.
Yeah, it looks like he really hit the weight room over the offseason, as he really doesn't get taken down on the first tackle. You see him there again. breaking through tackles in the backfield.
You can
Doing a
see
great
the
job.
Mavericks players are very frustrated. That was a free run, free shot, 4 yards deep in the backfield, but they just cannot tackle him. They cannot tackle Hayden Puente. And once again, he picks up 4 more yards, and instead of this being 3rd and 7, which is an obvious passing down so he could sit back, it's 3rd and 1, and they don't know what we're going to do here.
He's doing a great job with yards after tackle, after contact. Mendoza drops back in the pocket. He's going to throw it downfield. And a pass interference is called, should be called. That was Andres Millares actually on the pass, the freshman quarterback.
This is what this Belen offense has been lacking. Last year, 3rd and 1, every single person in the building knew where the ball was going. This year, 3rd and 1, it's a drop-back pass. None of the corners are expecting it. They're in press man, looking for the run. With the speed of these young wide receivers, beats them downfield and force them to get a huge pass interference, picking up a 1st down and continuing to move this Belen offense forward.
Yeah, and he got a lot of air under that ball. Was Millares.
Impressive arm, especially for a true freshman quarterback.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
That's going to change with Belen's team this year, because with those deep shots, the corners have to and the safeties have to respect that. Last year, the safeties could play basically at the line of scrimmage with no threat of a deep throw. But this year, those safeties are going to have to respect that, which is just going to open up more holes for Hayden Fuente in the run game.
You know, and that could be an advantage for the Wolverines. You know, they could just start running a 2 quarterbacks offense, sort of.
I agree. Both quarterbacks have their strengths.
Millares again. Oh, bad pass there as he overthrows his target on the screen.
Yeah, first start, first game jitters. There'll be some mistakes like that. Once again, another well-run play. Looked like there would have been some space for the receiver there if he was able to get that ball and start moving with it. But
Millares in the backfield with Kamani Alexander, the freshman running back. We've seen him a little throughout this game. He's shown off his great speed. They're going to give it to him again. Oh, wow, look at that juke. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, might have gained a yard. But a great job of avoiding a tackle for a loss there by Alexander.
These Belen running backs are just so elusive. Once again, it looks like he's dead in the rights, 2 yards deep in the backfield, but makes a great juke move and is just able to do the little things. Those kind of things will help an offense not get behind the chains and be able to keep moving on the drive.
You know, that's great to prevent momentum for the Mavericks. I believe Millares is remaining at quarterback.
But we have no one else. A quarterback.
So in shotgun formation. With 1:18 seconds left in the first quarter. Millares drops back. He's going to throw it down the sideline. He's got Lizama. And it is incomplete.
Would have been an incredible catch for Lizama to make multiple adjustments on that ball before trying to make almost a basket catch at about the 1 yard line. Once again, beautiful throw from Millares. He has an incredible arm, but well played by the corner and almost a heroic effort by Robbie Lizama.
Yeah, great job by Lizama actually tracking that ball down. It was just great coverage by the corner. As Lizama was not able to make the exact adjustment. And a timeout called by Belen.
Yeah, big decision here on this 4th down. It's 4th and about 9, but you know the receivers can get open, and Millares has the arm to get it there. Plus, you're not really, it's tough to punt from about the 30. You're not going to make any real noticeable gain in field position. So Don Chaney has looked really aggressive on these first few drives, so I'm curious as to what he's going to do here.
You know, and we can also see the kicking unit come out for the Wolverines as they have a junior kicker, Alejo Beteta, on the team. New kicker for the Wolverines as he's replacing Brandon Rice, who graduated this past offseason.
Yeah, it was a good run for the Rice brothers here at Belen, so let's see if the new kicker can. I'm excited to see the new kicker and to see what he can do, if he can live up to the Rice family name.
Oh, it's 3rd. I thought it was 4th.
And they're not going to bring out the kicking unit. You know, I agree with this call by Coach Potts. You know, to keep the offense on the field.
They've been this close to just getting a couple deep passes, and let's see if they can complete one here.
Millares, the screen pass, and it's caught. And that's a 1st down for the Wolverines.
That was an incredible play design by Coach Potts. The running back snuck out of the backfield. Looked like he was going on a swing route, but last second the offensive line started moving downfield, and he made a little cutback towards the middle of the field, setting up a perfect screen with blockers moving in front of him. And as you saw, he uses that incredible speed to pick up the first down on a big 4th and 9. Love the aggressive call from Coach Potts.
And that was Lorenzo Torres, who was able to move the sticks for the Wolverines. Yeah, that was a fantastic call by Coach Potts. You know, that's something you really didn't see last season.
I love the creativity, the aggressiveness of the offense. It looks like a new Belen Jesuit team. It looks just the energy from the players, the coaching staff, the decisions they're making. It shows that they really have confidence in the offense, which is looking really good.
You know, and this coaching staff is also showing a lot of trust in these young guys. I mean, it's not very common to see, you know, freshman starting quarterback, you know, sophomore receivers starting, and they're also freshman running back Kamani Alexander is also getting good reps in this game behind Hayden Puente.
Wow, after a measurement, they brought out the chains, and it looks like Belen is actually just short. I mean, even if they didn't get it, I still love the call from Coach Potts. Well-designed play, aggressive mentality, but wow, I really thought they got that.
You know, and I believe they also did that call trusting their defense. You know what I mean? This defense has had a great affair so far throughout this game in stopping the Mavericks.
Yeah, they're able to trust that even with a little more average field position, this defense is not going to give up many yards with the way they've played on these first 2 drives.
Evan Gill. Oh, and the ball is loose, and the Wolverines recover it.
Once again, that defense, just like last year, just like the year before, forcing turnovers. They are one of the best in the state of Florida at it. And here they are again, emerging from the pile with the ball. Looked like a mishap on the handoff. I think the quarterback thought that Evan Gill was going to get the ball, but Evan Gill didn't, and there was a mishap on the exchange. Great job by that Belen D line. They were already there to tackle Evan Gill if he did get the ball, and were able to just jump on it. And once again, this Belen offense is going to have incredible field position.
And Evan Gill's having a really tough time going against this front 7 of the Wolverines.
Both Evan Gill and the O-line are just getting absolutely dominated right now.
Yeah, they are getting demolished at the line of scrimmage. Here come the Wolverines. Great field position. Here's Hayden Puente up the middle. Picks up a decent amount of yards.
This is what we're seeing. Last year, that front 7 would have been 9 guys in the box, but you see only 2 linebackers, 4 defensive linemen. The defensive backfield is spread out because they're concerned about the deep pass, and Hayden Puente has a lot of has a lot of room to just take off through the middle.
Puente again. There he goes, Puente, and he is taken down just short of the end zone. Fantastic run there, and Puente is plowing through this defense.
Puente is looking like a tank. I mean, every time on first contact, it looked like he'd get 2 or 3 yards, and he just carries guys for about 8 yards. I mean, if he keeps this up all season, I don't see a lot of people stopping this Belen offense.
Yeah, he's having a remarkable game so far on the ground. Gonna give it to Puente again. He goes up the middle, and he's in the end zone.
The first touchdown of the spread offense. 8-0 Belen with the extra point pending. What a start for this Belen team in the first quarter.
Yeah, fantastic play calling there by Coach Potts, you know, in his debut for Belen.
With 0.3 seconds left in the first quarter, I don't think this quarter could have gone much better than Belen. They're winning the game on offense, defense, and special teams. The passing game looks great. Hayden Puente earned that touchdown with all the work he's put in over the past few drives. I don't think he's gotten less than 5 yards once, even though if he's been hit multiple times behind the line of scrimmage. This Belen team all around just looks like a completely different unit from last year.
And Oliver Romanach on the kick gets it through the uprights. It's currently 9-0.
This Belen team looks really good. I mean, a lot of people questioned Don Chaney. They had questions, what was the offense going to look like? Were they going to keep it the same? Especially with his son, Don Chaney Jr. gone. But Coach Potts is looking like a really, really smart hire for this Belen coaching staff. The offense looks inventive, creative plays, deep shots. I mean, it looks like a college spread offense, which is what they're going for.
Yeah, and the coaching staff for the Wolverines and pretty much just the whole team was pretty ecstatic about about the hire of Coach Potts. You know, they were looking forward to the start of the season with this brand new offense. You know, and they're doing a great job so far.
I mean, and one thing this Belen team, no penalties in the first quarter. You saw multiple of those for the Mavericks. Also a couple mishaps on special teams. They're just playing a crisp, well-executed game. Very clean.
So Belen's defense going to come onto the field very soon. They've done a fantastic job, you know, forcing a turnover. They got a safety earlier in the game, early in the first quarter.
Mavericks still don't have a first down. They went 3 and out, fumble, and really it just doesn't get much better than that from a defensive standpoint. I think they may still have negative yards.
So here's the kick for Belen Jesuit. And a great kick. That's a touchback.
This is the difference between the Belen special teams unit and the Mavericks special teams unit. The Belen offense has started off a kickoff at the 42, off a punt at the 42, off another punt at the 47, and off a fumble at the 22. Meanwhile, a Belen punt had the Mavericks starting at the 20, and the kickoff goes into the end zone. That's a 65-yard kick. So really, they're just outplaying him in all facets of the game. And backing him up close to their end zone will once again give the defense a better chance to execute. And this team just looks really, really good. I cannot understate that.
Yeah, this Mavericks offense really has gotten nothing going. You know, they've tried to get that run game rolling with Evan Gill. Haven't gotten that. And then the pass game, you know, they really haven't attempted to pass the ball. The one time they did it, a receiver dropped the pass. Evan Gill's also taken down for a loss of yardage. My goodness, Belen's defense is just a nightmare for him.
Another carry for negative yards by Evan Gill. He probably has around like 7 rushes for like 8 yards by this point. He looks really, really good. This defensive front is getting pressure. And that is the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1, it's Belen 9, Mavericks 0. They're outplaying them in offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, really, for Don Chaney's first game as full-time head coach, you could not have asked for a better first quarter.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I was the head coach of a football team that performs like this, I would be very proud of my players. You know, and he showed a lot of praise. I talked with him a few weeks ago about what he thought on the team, and, you know, he seemed very proud of them, of the energy that they were playing with in practice, you know, the passion that they had. And right now, I'd be very proud of my players also.
I mean, and Coach Potts is looking just like a home run hire for this Belen offense. It's just, there's a new element we haven't seen in years past. And the wide receivers are getting involved, you know, rollouts for the quarterback who's looking to throw deep passes on 3rd and 1. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you see from a real well-done college spread offense, but run by somebody like Mike Leach at Mississippi State. And if we found someone like that, watch out, because these freshmen, these sophomores have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, and this is an offense just bursting with potential.
Yeah, so far they're really taking advantage of their speed so far. You know, we've seen Robbie Lozama in the end zone getting behind the secondary. You know, the passes haven't really been completed yet, but that's something you can work on throughout the game and throughout the season pretty much. But the receiving core looks fantastic so far. The run game looks phenomenal, and the offensive line has had a drastic improvement from last season to now. You know,
especially in pass protection. I mean, the 2 quarterbacks have barely been touched.
Yeah. So 2nd and 13 for McCarthy. And he feels pressure in the pocket. And he breaks a tackle on a nice run there. And he picks up the first down. Oh, and he was just short of the first down. He might have picked up about 8 to 9 yards.
That was, once again, awesome pressure from the Belen front 7. Unfortunately, they were not able to get home, but the Mavericks still don't have a 4th down. This is 3rd down and 4, as it looks like he was out of bounds of 4. He was able to get that first down, and a big, big play. You know, the Mavericks have almost no momentum right now. Another 3 and out to get this defense off the field and hand it back to the offense. Another touchdown there, just continue to move the ball. This game could really be tilting in Belen's favor.
Yeah, that was Jesse Mendizabal, the junior quarterback on the carry. He stands at 5'9", weighs 150 pounds. You know, Belen's doing a great job in shutting him down. Here's Evan Gill. And he finally gets a positive gain there.
Finally, about a couple minutes into the second quarter, the Mavericks finally have their first down, their first down. And, I mean, looks like the Belen defense was really selling out and attacking the quarterback there. Running back was able to sneak out of the backfield and with the handoff and pick up that first down. But I'm impressed by the aggressive mentality of this team. Like, they're going out there and trying to get the stops and win the game and really just going all out. And that's really helped them so far. They're flying all around the field. It looks like an aggressive, athletic, great defense.
Yeah, and that's actually the first down that the Wolverines defense has allowed.
That's impressive.
So Jesse Mendizabal in shotgun formation, along with Evan Gill in the backfield.
Looks like
Flag on the field and a delay of game on the Mavericks. You know, that's just undisciplined offense right there.
drop passes, penalties, snapping the ball over the punter's head for a safety. I mean, with the way this Belen team is playing, those are mistakes you cannot make. You need to be able to get every point, take advantage of every opportunity you get, but they continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they've been doing this throughout the whole game. Literally, on the first drive with the safety, you know, they're just not helping themselves with these the penalties and the turnovers. They had the fumble earlier, so they're just, it's very undisciplined offense.
This Maverick offensive line is getting no push on the Belen front seven. They're getting stood up, and the linebackers are filling the gaps greatly. This run game is really, really struggling, and as their primary focus on offense tonight, shutting that down is going to be a key part of the game plan.
Yeah, and I think this defense pretty much knows what's coming. I mentioned it earlier, but I mean, they just know what's coming. They're playing with, I don't know how to describe it, but they just know exactly what play is coming their way. Evan Gill up the middle. He stopped again. Picks up about a yard or two.
Once again, just like you said on the last play, like they always have the perfect counterplay drawn up for exactly what the Mavericks are going to do. It looks like they know where the Mavericks are going with the football, which shows the anticipation of this coaching staff and this defense, and sets up another 3rd and long. It would be huge for Belen to get off the field.
Said he almost didn't make it today.
So 3rd and long for the Mavericks.
It's like press man coverage for Belen. This corner's going to back off a little with a lot of men in the box.
And pressure on Mendizabal, and it's intercepted! There he goes, look at the speed. He might take this all the way back. And he cuts back in, and it's a pick 6 for the Wolverines. Oh my goodness.
Wow, they sent the house on 3rd and long. Off bounds throw by the quarterback, and it's jumped by the corner and taken all the way home. Man, he should be playing some offense. That was an impressive return. Broke a couple tackles, made some nice cutbacks, and this Belen team is dominating.
Yeah, that was a fantastic read there by the corner. And that was a horrific pass also by Mendizabal. Not a great read at all. You know, I
Looked
don't
like
really know.
it was just 3rd and 11. He was kind of just throwing it for the sticks. But in that situation, you're better off throwing it away or taking the sack than giving up a touchdown to the opposing team. And this just continues to swing more momentum in Belen's favor. The pick was great. The return was even better. And this Belen team is just dominating.
Yeah, this Belen defense and offense so far has looked fantastic.
It just looked like a very exciting team, which is something we haven't seen in the past few years.
And Oliver Romanov gets the kick up through the middle of the uprights. So with 10 minutes and 6 seconds left in the half, the Wolverines have a 16-0 lead. And this defense has had a fantastic job, you know, forcing 2 turnovers. Actually 3, but including the safety.
I mean, this is a team that got shut out 3 times in the last few weeks of last season. And look at the second quarter's just started, and they have 16 points already. Well, this time it's the opponent who's being shut out. I mean, the offense, the defense, and the special teams have all scored. It's a complete, energetic, exciting team.
Yeah, there's really no, it looks like there's no flaws on either side of the ball for Belen.
Like on offense, the running backs are fast, and Hayden Fuente is just powering over people. Wide receivers are creating separation. The freshman quarterbacks have huge arms and look to be pretty accurate. And on the defense, it seemed impenetrable up to this point.
So the Wolverines are going to kick it off. 16-0 lead with 10 minutes and 6 seconds left in the half. You know, and that pass by Mendizabal, it just looked like he got really anxious there. You know, he had to roll out from the pocket because of all the pressure that the Wolverines front seven put on him. You know, again, bad blocking by the offensive line.
And terrible mechanics for a quarterback. You're taught never off your back foot, never on the run. He did both of those things. And it seemed like he was just trying to throw anything to get the first down.
And a fantastic kick again. This time it's returnable. And a nice return there as he's finally taken down at about the, looks like he might have gone into the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like at about the 30-yard line, which is the best field position all day for these Mavericks. Nice return there. Nice job by the coverage team to get him before it went too far. And not a huge deal at this stage of the game. Just got to keep this defense aggressive. Don't want to get too comfortable with the lead and start to almost feel like you have it before you really do. Just keep being aggressive, and I feel pretty good about this one for Belen.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of time left in this ball game. You know, you got 10 minutes left in just the second quarter. So McCarthy still has a lot of ground to make up, but they still have a chance. Evan Gill, and he's stuffed up the middle again. He has gotten nothing going on the ground today for Archbishop McCarthy.
This Belen defense, I mean, you see they're consistently, I mean, I don't know, maybe they need to change something up with the run game because it looks like they're running similar runs and they're trying the same thing over and over again, and Belen is ready for it, and it looks like they have a great game plan put in by the defensive coaches, and this run game is just going nowhere.
And this Archbishop McCarthy team really has made no adjustments to this defense. You know, the one time they tried to throw the ball, it was picked off, and then on the ground, you know, they haven't really switched up their play calling. Pretty much every play it just goes up the middle with Evan Gill. And the Belen front seven knows exactly when it's coming. And Disabal drops back in the pocket. He's going to feel pressure, and it's incomplete. Wow, this defense is playing a fantastic job.
The defensive line is just, the offensive line doesn't even look like a challenge. They're in the backfield incredibly quickly. The DBs are flying all over the field. Great play there. Nice job to hit the receiver almost as soon as he caught the ball, forcing him to drop it. But though another drop there for the Mavericks, another unforced error, which is something they struggled with. But Belen looks like they look very mentally sharp. Like they're not going to make bad mistakes. They're not going to beat themselves like we've seen sometimes in past years.
They look very motivated, and as I mentioned, they're playing with a lot of energy. I mean, their sideline gets into the game. You know, they're celebrating when they got the pick. So far, just a lot of teamwork also with this. With the offense and defense. And they're also playing with a lot of chemistry also. You see the team is just clicking on both sides of the ball. And again, pressure, and it is incomplete. This defensive line is playing fantastic today.
Looked like a little screen pass, and not only did the defensive line get through, the linebackers were able to read the screen pass and be right there while the running back was there. The defensive line forced a bad throw to the running back. The linebackers would have stuffed it for a small gain, even if he caught it anyways. It was almost intercepted. And just all three facets of this Belen defense seem really, really good, and this offense has no answers.
Yeah, the O-line for the Mavericks just, it looks like they can't withstand the front
They're going to have
seven.
to make some adjustments somewhere because it's not working.
So here we go on fourth down. McCarthy punting the ball away.
Another delay of game for this Maverick offense. They're just penalties. They're playing a sloppy game. And while Belen is playing a clean game, they're also playing a really good game. So you have to match that, both the good play and the clean play. If they're going to play the way they have thus far, they need to clear up these unforced errors before this game gets out of hand.
Not really sure why they took a delay of game there, you know what I mean? I would have understood if they were at like the 35-yard line or 40-yard line on a punt just to move it back so that there's a less chance of it being a touchback. But you're all the way backed up here, and the kick is almost blocked. And it's a fair catch for the Wolverines. But what I was saying was, like, you shouldn't really be taking a fair a delay of game.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think it's just a mental error. We've seen it all game.
Yeah, that's true.
One more great field position. The one thing this Belen offense has really worked with is short field. I don't think they've started behind the 40-yard line once, which,
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of support, it makes it easier when you don't have to churn out 80-yard drives. You can get quick strikes for a 55-yard touchdown drive.
And besides forcing turnovers, that's what this defense has done a great job of doing, allowing the offense to start off with great field position.
Exactly. The Mavericks are picking up no first downs, so it's not like they're punting from the 50. They're punting from their own 20, which gives Belen great field position.
They're going to run the ball with Hayden Puente up the middle, and look at this. Puente breaks through a few tackles, and he's going to pick up a first down. And look at that. Wow, he gained about 20 yards on that play.
Just a push from Fuente. He was first hit about 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, but tackler after tackler after tackler, they just could not bring him down. He's like a truck. They just can't slow him down.
Yeah, and Belen's totally taking advantage of that. You know, the Mavericks don't have enough strength to stop him. And Belen, you know, if you just have a powerhouse back like Hayden Puente, you know, I just abuse that. You know, abuse his front seven, you know, tear them up, and then throw a ball like once in a blue moon, which they've been doing.
And when you're able to run with like that, it's either they have a choice here. Either they stack the box and try to tackle Hayden Puente, which even when they have gotten guys on him, they haven't been able to do, and then feel susceptible for the deep pass, or they can leave the safeties back and leave the run game open for Hayden Puente.
Yeah, Puente's having a fantastic game so far. And his offensive line is doing a great job blocking for him.
Looks like a penalty for Belen after the play. It's going to be 15 yards instead of a 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line.
Miatis drops back in the pocket. Does a little dump screen. Oh, nice stiff arm! And a first down for the Wolverines. My goodness.
Looks like he had him right there for about a 2-yard gain. And then just a stiff arm just threw the defender to the ground. Almost got a second one and even carried that defender for a couple yards. I mean, every single person on the offense who's gotten involved has looked unstoppable. And this Maverick team just doesn't look like they're as good as Belen.
Yeah, they certainly don't look like they can keep up with this offense. Hayden Puente up the middle again, picks up positive yardage there.
It's 6, 7 yards every time, and when it's not 6 or 7, it's 20. I mean, there's no 1 or 2 yard runs that sent an offensive drive back, and that's been the most impressive part of Fuente's day.
You know, and this offense is just clicking. I mean, this whole game, from the start of the game, I mean, we just saw like a momentum and a flow with this offense, and they've just been having a great game.
I like Miata as a quarterback, too. Has a great arm.
They're going to run it up the middle again. Kamani Alexander.
There's a speed back. I feel Hayden Fuentes is more of the big power back that'll just run over guys. And Kamani's kind of like a change for the defense to have to adjust to a speed guy. And once again, another hole opened up right in the middle of the offensive line. He's able to just duck through it, take the easy run, break a tackle, and just keep up the first down. Keep those chains moving.
Yeah, Alexander's more like the elusive back, and then you have Hayden Puentes more like a powerhouse back.
It really offers a switch for the defense because you're used to Fuente barreling over you, and the deal with a fast guy like Alexander is really tough.
Yeah, this drops back. He's going to send this one to the end zone, and then it's incomplete.
Looks like it was almost caught. The defensive back really had trouble picking up that ball. Looks like he lobbed up, just gave his receiver a 50-50 ball, and the defensive back could not catch it. Almost an incredible catch on the sideline for Belen, but just out of the hands
And
of the wide
Miatis,
receiver.
his arm strength, my goodness, for
It's
a freshman,
incredible.
that's not very common. He's going to drop back again. He's going to send this one to the end zone, and it is caught!
Oh my God!
Wow! It was deflected by the corner, and then Carlos Iglesias was able to haul it in the end zone.
Just the concentration. Once again, another 50-50 ball, deep throw from Miata. It's tipped up in the air, and as he's falling on the ground, the concentration and hand-eye coordination to keep the eye on the ball and catch it as he's going down. This Belen team is exciting. The standout plays, the deep throws, I love it.
Great focus by Carlos Iglesias, the senior receiver for the Wolverines. My goodness, and Andres Miatis, you know, that was
He's
back-to-back
a true
pass.
freshman. He's throwing the ball 30 yards downfield with perfect spiral.
Yeah, that was great coverage by the corner, though. You know, props to him.
Oh, no, perfect coverage. Just an incredible play by Iglesias to catch the ball as he was laying on the ground. That's the kind of play that gets you attention from the coaches.
Yeah. it sort of reminded me of the play that had against Georgia Tech a few years ago with Daryl Langham. The corner deflected the ball up into the air, bounced off his helmet, and then Daryl Langham was able to haul it in while he was falling on the ground, and then ended up winning that game.
Yeah, just the concentration to catch a ball like that is incredible.
Oliver Romanach is able to nail the. Oh, and he missed the kick.
There was a false start penalty on Belen just before the kick that made it just a little tougher, and I think that's going to cost him the extra point on this one. But it's still Belen 22, Mavericks 0 with 7 minutes and 39 seconds left in the second quarter. I mean, wow, Don Chaney looks like the coach of the future. You couldn't have expected anything better out of this Belen team.
Yeah, and Coach Potts is also having a fantastic game. Diverse play calling. Switching it up with the run game. You have Hayden Puente in on one play, and then you have Kamani Alexander, the speed back, and then you have the powerhouse back. Switching it up, and then you can confuse the defense with that. Then plus you have a true freshman quarterback in Andres Millares, who you really wouldn't expect to be throwing the ball this well consistently. And it's just great play calling and great offense overall.
Yeah, just looking at the offense, you see it's a mix of youth and veteran. You got the senior running back in Puente, and then you got the freshman in Alexander. You got the freshman quarterback in Miatas, and you got the senior wide receiver in Iglesias. And then just the youth of this team, they'll continue to grow together as a team over the next 4 years. And I said it a couple times, by the time these quarterback, this running back, these wide receivers are seniors, I mean, we could really, if Coach Potts stays with Belen, or if they hire, or if Coach Potts hopefully gets hired somewhere better because he was that good of a coach, this team can be really, really incredible in the next few years.
Yeah, Coach Potts is doing a very good job in his debut on Belen. And the kick, this one a little shorter than usual. And it's recovered at about the 17-yard line.
Once again, horrible field position for this Maverick offense. Looked like a short kick, but it was positioned perfectly. And good job by the returner to jump on that. It looked like he almost didn't get it. And if Belen would have recovered, that's a free ball, and Belen ball at the 12-yard line, which would have been an unmitigated disaster for these Mavericks. They really need to get something going here because this game is starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, it's starting to get out of hand, and against a good defense like this, a disciplined defense, there's really been no penalties called on this on this defensive unit.
Yeah, the only Belen penalty was this false start on the extra point. It's been a crisp game.
Yeah, this defense it seems to be very well coached. They're disciplined, no penalties being called on them. While it's the complete opposite for the offense of the Mavericks. Evan Gill is going to go up the middle, gets a little push from his offensive line. He's able to pick up a few yards there.
I mean, he just picks up 2 yards, and that's just what it's been every play. They run up the middle, the Belen defensive line gets pushed, and the running back just has nowhere to go. This offensive line is getting dominated, which is something we're used to seeing from the Belen defensive lines, and every time it sets them behind the chains and doesn't put them in a good position to get the first down.
6 minutes and 40 seconds left. Belen's defense looking to get a big stop here. Let's see if the Wolverines front seven is able to put pressure again on the quarterback. And a pass there. It's incomplete. Another drop.
I think the defensive line forced that incompletion. They had two guys coming off the left side, which made it very, very difficult for the quarterback. He had to throw it 1 foot on the run, back foot, or he wouldn't have been able to get that pass off. And due to that, a low throw, wide receiver is unable to catch it. Probably should have been caught, but another unforced error for this Mavericks team. And this Belen defensive line has really been the table setters for the defense all game.
Yeah, Jesse Mendizabal he hasn't really looked prepared to go up against this defense, neither has the offensive line.
Yeah,
the O-line is definitely not helping him at all.
He has no time to throw, and he's being forced into rush throws, hurried throws, back foot throws, forced out of the pocket, and the play breaks down, and this defensive line is just causing chaos for that offensive unit.
Yeah, in this halftime, there's going to have to be a lot of adjustments made for this Mavericks.
I'm curious.
squad.
I'm very curious to see how they come out of the second half because it's unclear what, because they're trying a lot of stuff, but something needs to be changed for the second half. This Belen defense will just continue to dominate.
So here we go on.
A big third down here. Third and medium for this Mavericks team. Once again, if Belen can get the ball back and score, this game really begins to become a total blowout.
A lot of pressure on Mendizabal. in shotgun formation. Drops back in the pocket. He's going to feel pressure, and he is brought down. This defensive line is a complete nightmare for this O-line of the Mavericks.
This defensive line looks incredible. They just create chaos. If it's 3rd and 12, the wide receivers are not going to have a chance to get downfield when the D-line is there in 2 seconds. Looks like they're having free rushers off the edge. The offensive line looks totally overwhelmed. And another stop for this Belen defense. The offense has 1 first down. And punting from their own end zone, this will be great field position for Belen. The defense is setting up the offense. The offense is keeping the defense off the field and keeping them fresh. I really, really love what this Belen team is doing so far.
It's just phenomenal football overall by this football team for Belen.
Yeah, we haven't seen a team like this in a couple years.
Yeah, they look very good right now.
And they look exciting.
Yeah, and promising also, and these are young kids, and a bad snap. And another safety, I believe.
They're going to have to do something about this long snapper. That's the 2nd highest snap of the game. 2 safeties on punts. May actually be better for the Mavericks because now they can punt not from their own end zone. Maybe Belen will lose a couple, like 20 yards of field position. But either way, I have confidence in its offense. It's just the long snapper struggling. More unforced errors for this Mavericks team. Belen is winning this game, and the Mavericks are also losing this game. It's just been a struggle for them on all 3 parts of the game.
So now it's 24-0 lead for the Wolverines. And they're going to get the ball here. Look, and they could possibly extend this a 31-0 game. I mean, they have enough time to do it. 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
This is what domination looks like. Receivers are open. Running lanes are open. Tight coverage from the corners. Breaking through by the defensive line. We're winning the special teams battle by a lot. I'm really impressed. Don Chaney looks like he has something really good going here.
Yeah, Coach Potts, the whole coaching staff right now is doing a fantastic job. And barely any penalties called on Belen's offense and defense, as I mentioned.
None. Only on the extra point there was a false start. That's it.
Which resulted in a missed extra point. But besides that, Belen's been doing a fantastic job playing very disciplined football.
If you're the coaching staff right now, you have to feel very good about yourselves and the team. Both the coaches and the players have come and done their part today.
And it's a fantastic way to start off your season. You can gain momentum going into your next game. And good field position again for the Wolverines, as what you were talking about is the defense is able to set up this Belen offense with great field position, which has resulted in multiple touchdowns.
Once again, Belen hasn't started a drive inside their own 40-yard line. If you consistently set up the offense with short fields and can't keep your offense on the field, this defense is just going to get exhausted by this high-powered Belen offense and these short fields, and it'll be touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
So here comes the Belen offense. Andres Millares so far having a fantastic debut of his high school career.
He has an incredible arm. The wide receivers get separation deep, and he hits them.
Here's Kamani Alexander, the speed back for the Wolverines, gaining a few yards there, about pickup of 3 yards.
I'm really impressed by his shiftiness. He had a guy there in the backfield, another guy 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, was able to juke him out both with nice little jumps there, and that makes a 2-yard loss a 5-yard gain, and that's what's keeping this Belen offense moving. Is 5 yards every time, and if you pick up 5 yards every time, your offense is not going to stop.
And this run game has really impressed me. I was really worried, and just focusing on how Belen was going to replace Don Chaney as Kamali Alexander picks up a first down, as that'll move the sticks.
One thing you can tell these running backs have really been taught to do is just keep their feet moving. When guys are starting to pile on top of them, but they just keep their legs churning and pick up more and more yardage. And that yard after contact, a lot you've seen for Evan Gill on the Maverick side is he's going down at first contact. He doesn't get any yards after he's touched, but the Belen running backs, we have not seen that.
And Desmiadis hands it off, and a loss of yards.
That's the first real miscue for Belen this game. A fumble on the handoff, lost the ball. Looked like Belen might have jumped on it for a second, but it got loose. And let's see how the defense rises up to this. This is the first time the Mavericks have been in Belen territory. They have 1 first down all game. It's the best field position by far. So let's see how the defense does with this short field and if they're able to rise up to this challenge. I think they will.
Yes, defense, there's more pressure on this drive than there was on the other drives, because the other drives they had them pinned back at their own 10-yard line, 15-yard line. Here you have great field position for the Mavericks at the 48-yard line. This Wolverines defense is going to have to step up to the challenge.
They need a 3-and-out more than ever, especially to keep them out of field goal range, and I think they're up to the challenge.
And Evan Gill met in the backfield by this front seven yet again.
This defensive line has impressed me more than possibly any unit of the team. I mean, look at that. That's a handoff. And where is he going? Within a second, there's two guys there smacking him in the backfield, and your offense is obviously going to struggle. Now it's 2nd and 13. That eliminates almost any threat of the run game for the Mavericks here. So the Belen defense can continue to send these defensive linemen and create havoc in the passing game.
And this front seven is just getting in the heads of...
And what this front seven does, those front four are getting pressure every time. So they don't even have to blitz to get pressure, meaning that the secondary can sit back in coverage. Looks like he gave up a deep post there on 2nd and 13. I think that's one of the first completed passes we've seen from the Mavericks all game. And now they're really driving into Belen territory. Let's see how the defense responds with their backs to the end zone.
So the defense now getting driven on sort of by the Mavericks offense, trying to finally get something going.
Yeah, this defensive line really has allowed them to only rush 4 and still get pressure, meaning they can drop guys back in coverage and get a lot of guys in coverage and stop that pass game. It's been really impressive so far.
Here's Evan Gill. Oh! Breaks a tackle. Oh, my goodness.
Impressive run by the quarterback. It looked like they had him dead in the right, so about a yard behind the line of scrimmage, but able to tiptoe the sideline and take a big hit and continue running, get about 6 yards. But those 99% of the time, those tackles will be made, and they have been made. And just a very fundamentally sound defense here, besides that one play. But I still have faith they'll stop this offense.
So the defense, facing more and more pressure throughout as this drive goes on. Their backs pinned up to the wall. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first half.
Looks like we're going to get a whistle here.
Timeout, Belen Jesuit. Mavericks.
Timeout for the Mavericks. I guess they're going to try and set up a couple plays here. Come out there with a little script to see exactly how they should attack this Belen defense, because this is their first real big opportunity of the game. Most of the game they've been stuck inside their own 20-yard line, and now they're really deep downfield. Before halftime, they cannot afford to waste this opportunity, because they're down by a lot. They're down 24-0 already. They need to get some points on the board.
Yeah, and it seems like they're sort of trying to make an adjustment to get through this defense, which they're doing on this drive. You see a better flow going on with the Mavericks, and this Belen defense struggling a bit here. But Belen's defense so far has looked fantastic and still have a chance to get a red zone stop here.
Yeah, the Mavericks really have to take advantage of this opportunity. I don't think they will get many opportunities, so a stop here would be really, really big for Belen.
Mendoza, he's going to scramble. He gets out of the pocket. There he goes, and he is out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Looked like the Belen sideline really wanted a holding call there. I heard a couple members screaming that the referee crew missed a holding call, but good job getting outside of the pocket. I think that's how they've tried to adjust. Less inside runs, more trying to get outside the numbers, run away from that defensive line, and a nice scramble right there by the quarterback.
Yeah, Mendoza ball able to get his legs moving there. Something we really haven't seen throughout this game. The few times that he got out of the pocket, he ended up throwing the ball, which resulted in that pick six. So far, a great drive here by the Mavericks as they were able to force that fumble and started off with great field position. Now inside the 10-yard line at about the 6-yard line.
This is the first real drive they put together. Let's see how the defense responds.
Mendoza ball gives the ball off to Evan Gill, and he is taken down at the line of scrimmage.
You see, after making that adjustment of going to the outside more, they went back to what they'd been doing and running up the middle. And the defensive tackles are overpowering the interior offensive line every time. And I don't think runs like that are going to work. They're going to get 1 yard, lose a yard, and that's really what we've seen all game. That's what set their offense back in their earlier drives.
You know, and they're eventually going to have to turn to the passing game, which we've seen them struggle a lot, but the run game has gotten nothing going for them, so their last resort is just sort of the passing game.
I mean, yeah, the running game's not working, then you got to stray away from that a little bit, especially that run game up the middle, but that seems to be something they do a lot.
Yeah, if anything, if you want to keep the ball on the ground, you know, running more to the outside. Evan Gill. Mendizabal. Oh, and he's sacked for a loss of a lot of yards there. And this defensive line is dominating. They can get through this offensive line with no problem.
10-yard loss. Looked like perfect coverage downfield. They ran a play action. A linebacker or two may have been fooled, but the corners weren't. Stuck to their receivers. Nowhere for Mendizabal to go. And that defensive line did what they've done all game. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 16. Obvious passing situation. I expect the Belen to sit back in some deeper coverage here and try to make sure that they don't get this 3rd down.
And Belen has the edge here. Mendizabal really has had a very poor game when it comes to throwing the ball in the air.
The receivers have struggled with catching the ball too. There's been
There's been a lot of dropped catches.
So it'll take a good throw from Mendizabal here and a good catch by the receiver to complete the 16-yard touchdown.
Yeah, so dropped catches really weren't great throws. You know, there were little crossing routes that Mendizabal would just throw the ball way behind the receiver. I mean, there were catchable passes, but still, you know, if you're open like that, you should just throw the ball right at his chest.
Yeah, balls like that need to be in stride in the receiver's hands. It's tough as a receiver, especially if you're running a crossing route. You have to turn your body and reach behind, especially with multiple defensive backs around you. Those are the kind of throws that when you have an open guy, you're not going to get many open guys against this Belen defense. So you have to hit those right in the numbers.
So 57 seconds left in the first half. A lot of pressure here on Mendizabal. He's had a rough game so far. You know, the secondary and front seven have put a lot of pressure on him. Mendizabal drops back. He's going to feel pressure, and he is taken down. This defensive line and defensive front in general has just been fantastic.
Tackles for loss, sacks, and when it's not that, it's a 1 or 2 yard gain on the run. This started 1st and goal at the 5. It ends 4th and goal at the 23. And not only does that erase a scoring opportunity, it erases any possibility of them going for it, because what are the odds they pick up 24 yards here? Back-to-back sacks. This O-line, they have to change something, maybe leave tight ends as extra blockers, because maybe even get an extra offensive lineman in the game, because they are doing nothing against this Belen defensive line.
Yeah, they have gotten nothing like rolling on their offense.
No push, no pass protection.
And they just don't look motivated also, you know what I mean? This offensive line and the run game, you know, they should at least try to push Devin Gill up, you know, when he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
I mean, that must be a demoralizing drive for them. They're at the 5-yard line, finally moving the ball, and they lose 19 yards after that. I mean, you can just see the energy. This Belen defense is flying all over the field, and the Mavericks look lethargic and let down because they've just played horrible.
Yeah, and that's just a letdown drive, as you said, you know. That could take a lot of momentum away from them, and just, you know, their focus and attitude, I mean, that's
looks
really
like,
demoralizing.
Looks like they're going to go for this here on 4th and 24. I guess this has more to do with their kicker's ability to kick a 41-yard field goal than it does the offense wanting to go for it here. Plus, they really, really need a touchdown. So I'm very curious as to what they'll call here. I'm wondering if they're able to get the receivers downfield before that defensive line gets home.
I mean, this is where Belen's secondary is going to be a factor. Mendizabal drops back, and he feels pressure. He's wrapped up again. Oh, my goodness. As you see the corner blitz. Wow.
It was 1st and goal from the 5, 2nd and goal from the 6, 3rd and goal from the 14, 4th and goal from the 23, and now Belen gets the ball at the 30-yard line. It's not often you see a team have the ball at the 6-yard line and then back-to-back sacks. That's what I said right there. I don't think the receivers had time to get 24 yards downfield to at least give the quarterback a chance before that defensive line got home. Just an overpowering performance.
And that's a great call there. You know, the corner blitz, the corner just exploded off the line of scrimmage there. I mean,
yeah, it looked like they weren't able to get the communication to get anyone on the cornerback. And it's like, that's why I've always thought, like, on a Hail Mary that teams should blitz, because the receivers just don't have time to get all the way downfield. But the Belen defense doesn't have to blitz at times. It's just the pressure, just winning one-on-one against the offensive lineman. The pressure is incredible.
Here's Belen's offense. Andres Miatis in shotgun formation. He's had a fantastic game so far in his high school debut. He's going to drop back. The pass is completed to the receiver, and he's going to pick up a first down there. That'll move the sticks for the Wolverines as he was able to get out of bounds.
This is where you see a difference from last year. Last year, if they got the ball with 36 seconds left, they'd probably run a couple fullback dives and take it to the half. But here they're going to come out throwing already up at the 40-yard line and try to get more points before half. Just be aggressive.
And this Miatis is so far having a fantastic game.
I'm really impressed by him, and his arm strength is incredible.
He's going to throw the ball again. Downfield. It is caught. My goodness.
Andres Miares, that is a 30-yard throw from the right hash all the way to the left side of the field, and he fits it just past the corner, in between the safety before he can get there. He looks incredible. His accuracy is, I think he's winning the quarterback job over Alberto Mendoza so far.
And that was the sophomore receiver, Stefan Borrero, was able to get some spacing there.
The speed of these receivers to get behind the defense is simply incredible.
Andres Miatis, he's feeling it right now as you're going to see him roll out. And the pass is caught. And he is out of bounds, deep in Mavericks territory.
Belen got the ball at their own 30 with 36 seconds left. In 24 seconds, they've been able to move the ball all the way up to the 2-yard line. The receivers are getting open deep. Miatos, that's a on the run, about 20-yard throw across the field, dropped in perfectly in stride, giving Vic Perez room to run. And this just aggressive mentality. Coach, I'm loving Coach Potts so far.
And that's Vic Perez, the true freshman, showcasing his athleticism there.
Looks like we're going to get a timeout from Belen here to draw up what they're going to do. 12 seconds left. What do you think? You think if there's an incompletion, they go for the field goal, or they're just going on touchdown all the way here?
I mean, I don't see why not just go for a touchdown. I mean, you're up 24-0. Why not risk it? So that was a Mavericks timeout there.
Yeah, probably trying to game plan what to do against this Belen offense because, being honest here, 24-0, it's tough, but it's doable. 31-0 before half, that's where things start to get a little out of hand. And just getting some momentum here with the defensive stop would be huge for them. I mean, this drive has to be a killer. Belen got the ball with 36 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, this just shows the the play calling and the efficiency that the Belen offense has. I mean, they've been proving it every single drive, and here especially, I mean, it's been about 24 seconds, and they've driven the ball down practically the whole field.
I mean, once again, last year, it would have been 2 fullback dives and a half. This year, it's 4 deep passes and 75 yards covered in a span of 20 seconds. This offense just looks like a whole new unit.
Here come the Wolverines. Miatis drops back, feels pressure, throws it to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Wolverines! Another touchdown for the true freshman, Andres Miatis. And this receiving core is exposing the secondary of the Mavs.
That's the second touchdown for Miatis in the first half, and that's true. The receiving core, I mean, everybody's open on every play. These defensive backs just can't stick with them, showcasing that incredible speed. Miatis with more great accuracy, perfect throw over the defender to the back corner of the end zone. This Belen offense, they just went 70 yards in 30 seconds. They just look unstoppable right now. It's 30-0.
Yeah, they're looking fantastic so far. And you have to keep in mind, this Mavericks team came in with practically no film on this offense.
Yeah, I mean, last year was a run-heavy full-time offense, and they just switched to the spread in one offseason like that, an offseason that was decimated by COVID.
Yeah, that's totally true.
It's really impressive, the job the coaching staff has done. Don Chaney and Coach Potts seem to be forming a great duo right now. And, I mean, this could be a very, very good season for Belen football.
Currently a 31-0 lead. I mean, Andres Miatis has been so far for me the most impressive player. I mean, the fact for a true freshman in high school to go out there and dominate like this, he has 2 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown an interception yet. In the first quarter, there was an interception, but that was Alberto Fernandez. But Andres Miatis has so far had a fantastic game.
I mean, he had the accuracy is there, the touch is there, and the arm strength is definitely there. I mean, he has some of the best arm strength I've seen for a freshman quarterback. He throws the ball 35 yards downfield with ease. I'm really impressed. I mean, I think he's definitely taken a huge leg up in the quarterback battle. And he's led us to a 31-0 lead.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic game so far. Wolverine's going to kick the ball off now to the Mavericks. 31-0 with just a few seconds left on the clock. This will most likely be the end of the half. And a squib kick there.
That's out of
the ball
bounds.
goes out of bounds, so a flag called, a penalty on the Wolverines.
This will set him up at about, I want to say the 35-yard line is a high school penalty for kicking it out of bounds. I mean, there's 6 seconds left. I would be highly surprised to see this Mavericks offense get anything going.
I mean,
I'm sure they'll try a deep pass because they're down 31-0, but if Belen hasn't given up anything until now, I don't see much happening here.
Yeah, I mean, there's been 2 full quarters, and the Mavericks have yet to be able to score a touchdown and really even drive the ball down the length of a whole field, because the one good drive they had, really, they drove the ball about 20 yards, and then they ended up losing pretty much all those 20 yards.
Yeah, because of the turnover, and then, yeah, the Belen defense got 3 straight sacks for a 25-yard loss. Let's see what they try to run here. I'm guessing maybe a deep pass or like a screen pass just to try to get a playmaker in space.
I mean, if I were them, I wouldn't even risk throwing the ball. Yeah, it's a good play call. You know, you don't want to risk getting another turnover at the end of the half. And if anything, it can end up being a pick 6 like it was earlier in the game. So now we're gonna send the halftime report down to Ricardo Blanco, who is reporting on the sideline.
Hey! Coach.
Yeah, we're going to continue to play. We get some good breaks going our way. It's the first game, so we're going to continue to keep our foot on the gas a little bit and get some guys playing.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. All right, Wolverine fans, if that's any representation of what's going to happen the rest of the game, Wolverines fans should be excited. Wallace, what a game. We'll see you in the second half.
dominate on offense, special teams, defense. It just looked really, really good. Great start for Don Chaney. Offensive coordinator Potts has been dialing up perfect plays all game. Just love what I see out of this Belen team.
Yeah, the run game's been fantastic. You know, Hayden Puente and Kamani Alexander have been great. In the passing game with Andres Millares, a true freshman quarterback, he's been fantastic.
I mean, a true freshman has the best arm for a Belen quarterback I've seen in a couple years. He can really sling it downfield as a lefty, and I mean, just perfect first half for this Belen team.
Yeah, he also has great consistency. Throughout the game, he's been throwing great passes.
Yeah, not many misses. Perfect passes down the sideline on deep routes. Good job hitting out routes. I mean, throws that you really need some arm strength to make, which he has.
And the receiving corps has had a great game so far. They've done a phenomenal job exposing this Mavericks secondary. You know, the secondary for Archbishop McCarthy really can't keep up with them. You know, the speed of Robbie Lezama, Stefan Borrero, and Vic Perez, you know, they're really too fast for this defense.
And Iglesias, who caught that crazy juggling touchdown where the cornerback made a great play knocking in the air, but as he was falling down, was able to catch it.
Yeah, that was a very impressive play by Iglesias.
Looks like an offsides for Belen here on the kickoff, which will move it 5 yards back to the 35-yard line. First, really, this is the second penalty we've seen from Belen all day, and they've really been non-issues, while this Mavericks team has continued to rack up penalties, drop balls, 2 safeties on bad punt snaps. I mean, Belen is not beating themselves, and the Mavericks are.
So let's see if the Mavericks offensive Archbishop McCarthy are able to make any adjustments to sort of beat this defense of Belen. Oh, and the ball is loose, and the Wolverines recover it. Another turnover.
Well, if McCarthy was looking to get something going to start the second half, that's not going to do it. Almost didn't even get the kick, perfectly placed kick again, but as he jumped on the kick, tried to make something happen, and it was just punched out by a Belen defender. I mean,
way too many mistakes for Archbishop McCarthy as they keep shooting themselves in the foot. You know, way too many turnovers also. I mean, that's their fourth turnover on the day.
I mean, you're down 31-0. You got to give your offense a chance to get on the field. He really tried to make something out of nothing there, ran into multiple defenders, and just had the ball punched out. That's a major killer. I mean, a touchdown here, and you're up 38-0. What are the odds they're going to come back from that?
And there's also been a lot of unnecessary mistakes, you know, especially on special teams. The special teams of the Mavericks have really been struggling today. And Belen Jesuit has done a great job of capitalizing off of the struggles. And another first down for the Wolverines. Andres Millares completes the pass.
Look at that creative play calling. This had receivers going deep all game, so the corners are concerned about the deep threat. And they're able to get a screen into space, pick up 16 yards, good blocking. I mean, the offense is just creative and very well designed, which is something that has been missing over the past few years.
It's Carlos Iglesias, another reception. He caught a touchdown earlier today. Millares drops back. He's going to throw it to Robbie Lezama. He cuts back in, and he is in. Touchdown, Wolverines.
This game is a domination. Once again, they've been setting that up all game, going deep. They're able to get these short passes, a great juke move, as these Mavericks defenders have really struggled to tackle Belen all game, and that makes it 37-0. Another touchdown for Carlos Iglesias.
Yeah, I thought it was Robbie Lezama, but it was actually Carlos Iglesias. And that's his second touchdown on the day. That was his second reception also on that drive. And there's Millares, that's 3 touchdowns, I believe.
I feel like that perfectly sums up the game to this far. A special teams miscue by the Mavericks. Good job by Belen forcing a turnover. Great defense by the offense. And then just a precision offense that's able to get down in the end zone in 2 plays to take a 38-0 lead with a good extra point. I mean, just coming straight out of the half like that, it's got to be demoralizing for a Mavericks team that already didn't look too good.
A nice kick there by Oliver Romanov.
I mean, this Belen team, it's just, they look different from previous years.
Yeah, they're clicking on both sides of the ball, passing the ball a lot more than they did in the past. You know, they typically ran the ball. They were a run-heavy offense now. They're showing a lot of diversity in their play calling. They're running the ball with Hayden Puente, Kamani Alexander, and then throwing the ball with Andres Millares. It's pretty fascinating how their Coach Potts is trusting a freshman quarterback in high school to throw the ball this much. I mean, he has 3 touchdowns.
Coach Potts is living up to his billing as a big, major offensive mind, a spread offense principle. guy who really just takes a lot of those concepts that have made major offenses successful. A lot of vertical routes, a lot of screens, quick passes, deep throws, mixing in the run game, a lot of wide receivers spread out. I mean, it's called the spread. That's what it is, and he's running it really, really well and living up to his reputation as an offensive genius of sorts.
Yeah, more like an offensive guru. Yeah, and the offense is executing their plays very, very well and efficient. Wolverine's going to kick the ball off to Archbishop McCarthy. And a decent kick there. Number 1 for the Mavericks is finally taken down.
Broke a couple tackles, but really just had nowhere to go. It looks like the game has gone to a running clock and will continue throughout the second half. So there will be no clock stoppages to just try to get this game done as quickly as possible with Belen up 38-0.
The defense had a fantastic first half, and let's see if they can. The special teams forced the turnover, so we have yet to see the defense in the second half. But let's see if they could keep that energy throughout the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, a major momentum swing in the game was Belen was up 24-0, but after a turnover, the Mavericks had driven the ball all the way down to the 5-yard line right before half. Belen got 3 straight sacks, set the offense up in the 30. Offense proceeded to move 70 yards in less than 30 seconds to punch it in. I mean, 24-7, 31-0. There's a big, big difference. And to get that close and not be able to score must be so demoralizing for that Mavericks team.
Let's see if the Mavs can get something going offensively.
I mean, they've really only put together that one drive, which was set up by a Belen turnover and then was stopped. And besides that, I think they've gotten like 1 first down the whole game. The run game is getting stuffed, and that really seems to be their go-to. And the defensive line is really what's leading the charge for this defense with the sacks, not allowing the run game to get going, which allows the corners to sit back and expect that pass. Just great all around.
Yeah, and the offense of the Mavericks really had, as you said, one decent-looking drive, which they ended up losing a bunch of yards. And that was coming off of a fumble of the Wolverines. You know, they got the ball around the 45-yard line, or 48-yard line to be exact. They drove the ball down to about the 5-yard line, ended up getting sacked twice, ended up getting moved back to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, they were around the 30, which that's an 18-yard drive, which really wasn't. I mean, they were originally a 43-yard drive. It's not only often you see a 43-yard drive turn into an 18-yard drive because of 3 straight sacks.
Evan Gill, and there he goes down the sideline. Look at that speed, and he cuts back in, and he's out of bounds.
That's the first time you really see them break a run all game. It seems to be what they do normally, but right there, looks like some defensive lineman over-pursued off the edge. Nice job of Evan Gill. Oh, well, that's a holding on the offense, and that one's going to be taken back. It's going to be 1st and 20 for the Mavericks. Just when it looked like they had one good run, they get a penalty.
Evan Gill was able to finally showcase his athleticism there, and then the call gets moved back.
Yeah, that was a real athletic run right there, able to cut back into a hole, make a couple jump cuts, and get away from some defenders. But due to the holding, it's not going to count. I mean, really, that's the only thing they've produced all game, so that's unfortunate for them. But good for this Belen defense, which will once again just look to try to get off the field with a 3 and out.
Yeah, his defense has so far had a fantastic game.
I mean, I don't even know if I've been impressed more by the defense or the offense. Just all around, it's just been a really, really, really well-played game. And, I mean, this is better than anyone could have really expected for this Belen team. It's the perfect debut for Don Chaney.
Yeah, in his first official year coaching. I mean, last year he coached a few games. I believe he actually only coached 1 game, actually. And that resulted in a loss. This year comes in with a brand-new offensive system with a brand-new offensive coordinator. Finally switches things up after Belen was a run-heavy offense for a very long time. You know, this is a huge adjustment, and they've executed it perfectly in their debut.
Yeah, I mean, just a new coaching staff. They look like they've had this team more prepared to play and energized than we've seen in a long, long time. And they've cut down on bad mistakes. They've just played incredible.
Jesse Mendoza. He's going to throw the ball downfield. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Wow. Almost a one-handed interception. That would have been incredible. Another bad read by the quarterback. Threw it. Looks like there was nothing there. I mean, I don't think he was going to make that throw 30 yards over the defender's head. And a near-missed interception. That'll set up a 2nd and 15. Once again, behind the chains for this Mavericks offense.
Yeah, and the quarterback for Archbishop McCarthy has had a really rough game. You know, I don't even think he's had more than four complete passes.
I don't think so either. I mean, it's been partly on him. The receivers have struggled with getting separation. When they have gotten separation, we've seen a couple of drops. But overall, this Belen offense has done a great job of taking McCarthy out of their rhythm, because even those drops and when those receivers got open, the throws were a little off because of pressure. He was off his back foot. He was rolling out. He was on the move. So, I mean, the Belen defensive line has been the catalyst, with the secondary also playing awesome, sticking to their receivers.
And the majority of those plays that the quarterback had to roll out, etc., was due to the fact of poor offensive line play. You know, it wasn't great blocking at all. On the run also, you know, Evan Gill, you could tell he has a lot of talent, but it's just seems like it's not being used properly.
Yeah, you can see Belen coming out with 4-man fronts and getting a ton of pressure. It means that's a 5v4 for the offensive line. They're struggling. They're just losing one-on-one battles. This Belen defensive line is winning with power, technique, and speed. And it's a combination of the Belen defensive line being really good and this Mavericks offensive line being very bad.
6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Mendoza drops back in the pocket. Incomplete.
Like there. That's a pass. That's a slant pass where it looked like he had the corner just beat. Pressure caused him to hurry the throw a little, so the throw was a little behind the receiver. Still probably should have been caught, but also should be put in the numbers. So it's a little bit on the quarterback, a little bit on the receiver, and a large part the defensive line, and that's been the recipe for this Belen defense all game.
Yeah, his defense has just been feeding off of the mistakes that McCarthy has just sort of brought on to themselves.
3rd and 15, 3rd and really long for this McCarthy offense. I mean, they're really just, this game is not looking good for them. It's starting to get way out of hand. And let's see if Belen can get another 3 and out right here.
Feels pressure, and the pass is caught. And it's incomplete.
The defensive line got through on the screen pass. That looked like a good throw. Pretty easy throw to catch, too. Running back just dropped it. Looked like he might have had some space. Linebackers read it well. Probably would have been like a 5-yard gain, but, I mean, that sets him up with 4th and 15 again. And this game feels like it's more or less over. I know there's a lot of time left, and that's a bold statement, but it's 38-0, and the Mavericks are not putting anything together.
Yeah, their offense can't get anything going. It looks like they're going to settle for a punt yet again. The Wolverines up 38-0 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. So the ball was sort of deflected. Takes a Mavericks bounce. Decent punt there, probably the best punt of the day.
Yeah, that is by far the best punt of the day, and it was partially blocked. That's the worst field position Belen has had all game. It's the first time they started inside their own 40-yard line. Maybe the tip gave it some momentum. Instead of coming high in the air, it came out like a straight line drive, which, I mean, the fact that that's the best punt of the day is really not good for the Mavericks. But let's see what this Belen team does with a long field, which we haven't seen all game.
Yeah, and the Wolverines, their offense has been clicking throughout the day, and they're going to look to continue that.
Miades back on the field. Let's see what he can do.
And there goes Kamali Alexander, and he picks up a great gain.
Freshman running back Kamani Alexander just continues the speed, bouncing off tackles, and really the speed-power combo of him and Fuente will really set this team up all season, because the teams have to be concerned with guarding more than one type of running back. I mean, just the variety of players that this Belen offense has and the amount of weapons is so great for this team.
As that was actually Marky Ruiz, a junior running back on the carry there. It wasn't Kamani Alexander. You saw the speedy running back. You know, he's a rather short running back. He's smaller, but he's a lot more scrappy and faster.
That just speaks to the depth, the volume of players. I mean, he comes in and breaks multiple tackles and get a 17-yard run. That speaks to the amount of players this Belen team has and how well set up they are for the future with this depth and all these players, that when the seniors graduate, they'll still have capable guys who can fill in.
Yeah, and that's a great point that, you know, they're using all the young talent that they have. I mean, you have a true freshman quarterback, true freshman running back that's had about 10 reps, I think, in the backfield. And they've just been doing a great job. And the receiving core is rather young, you know. You have the senior receiver with Carlos Iglesias, and then you have the junior Robbie Lazama, and then you have Stefan Borrero, the sophomore.
Yeah, we haven't seen Hayden Flint there for a long time. I'd assume with them being up 38-0 that he's not going to see many more carries for the rest of this game, considering the fact that, you know, you don't want to risk losing your best running back, especially with the game out of hand. And you can get some valuable reps for the younger guys who will continue to play on the team over the next 3 years. So, I mean, it's a great job of getting the young guys involved, continue to develop them, and getting them meaningful snaps. And they've played really, really well. They've earned it.
So the Wolverines looking at getting possibly over 40 points. That would be fantastic.
Did we score 40 points in any game all last season?
I believe in 1 or 2 games.
I mean, just to do that in the first game and just an absolute domination would be huge for this coaching staff and team.
Miatis going to throw the ball, and it's caught. Vic Perez cuts back in, and then he's out of bounds. That's another first down for the Wolverines.
One really impressive thing I've seen from this Belen skill player group, they never get tackled on first contact. There's always yards that don't look like they're there, that the receivers or running backs are able to make jukes or break tackles to get, and that really keeps an offense flowing.
And the Wolverines running up the middle for a pickup of a few yards.
You know, we haven't discussed them for a while, but I've been really impressed by this offensive line. I mean, in previous years, we've seen a lot of struggles on the offensive line, but we've seen no Maverick players in the backfield, and instead just continuous clean pockets and holes in the run game.
That's Mendoza in the game. Nice wrap up there. Probably one of the few times that we've seen, you know, a tackle like that in an open field.
Yeah, impressive tackle right there. These Belen receivers are so fast. They've been making plays all game. But we have Alberto Mendoza back in at quarterback who started the game before Miatis took over and dominated. Let's see if he can live up to his competition.
Yeah, Mendoza threw a pick earlier in the game, which possibly caused him to go to the bench. He's back in looking to bounce back from that pick. And a pickup of a few yards there on the run.
That'll bring up 4th, and I want to say about 6 here. What do you think? You're up 38-0. You just kind of go for it?
I mean, why not just throw the ball? I mean, you've had success in the air. And I don't see why not just throw the ball.
Give Mendoza a chance. Give the players some reps. Right now at this point, you really have nothing to lose the way this defense is playing. Up 38-0. I say going for it is the right call here. Get the young players some reps.
I agree. So there's a minute and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. So going into the fourth, pretty much, the Wolverines have dominated the first and second half so far. As that was Mendoza, took a big hit in the backfield.
Yeah, looks like a little play action rollout right there. Might have had the running back on the bootleg, but the offensive line missed a rusher and Mendoza got crushed. I mean, right now, Miatis has to like where he's sitting in terms of the quarterback battle. He went out there, threw multiple touchdowns, showcased some incredible arm strength, and Mendoza really hasn't done much with his chances, though that last play probably wasn't his fault.
So the Wolverines, 20 seconds left in the third quarter.
Looks like Belen slowed it down a little bit in the third quarter. You know, they're up by a lot. They're getting the backup some reps, you know, making sure that they're good to go in case of an injury or just for the future, because you're going to need those guys once all your top players graduate. And just, you know, and they still kept up this 30-0 team and are beating the Mavericks with their backups. So that just speaks to the depth of this Belen team as a really, really good team. And that's the end of the third quarter.
So then in the third quarter, it's 38-0. Wolverines lead.
I cannot overestimate how good this team has played. I mean, this is the perfect setting. I mean, a solid opponent. Coach Don Chaney's first game. Coach offensive coordinator, Coach Potts' first game. And they've blown the roof out of this Mavericks team. The offense is clicking. The play calling is different than what we've seen in years. The defense is playing great. The whole staff has been impressive, as long with all the players.
So to start the fourth quarter, the Wolverines, as you said, sort of slowing things down, taking a more conservative approach to things.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of running, short passes, just kind of, you don't want to run the score up on these guys, just kind of bleed the clock out here and get out of the stadium with a big, big win in your first game of the season.
It's been a fantastic night for pretty much every player that has entered the field.
Yeah, I mean, they've put so many guys out there at running back and wide receiver, and no matter who's in the game, they seem to be breaking tackles, breaking off plays, getting separation, getting open. I've been really impressed by the depth players, the starters, the stars. Just a great game for everybody on the team. We'll start the fourth quarter here with the Mavericks having the ball at their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10.
See if they can get something going offensively. So far, they have had absolutely nothing go their way on offense. And he has all day in the pocket. And the pass. Good defense there as the pass was broken up. The secondary has played phenomenal throughout the game so far.
That's one of the first times all game where I've seen the quarterback actually have a lot of time to throw. Really didn't have to leave the pocket. May have left a little necessarily, but you see, in a lot of situations like that, after covering for so long, the secondary will fail there. But all the receivers, all the corners kept tight to their man. Beautiful pass breakup, and that'll continue to keep this offense from moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, he had all day long in the pocket. I don't see any reason to just sort of scramble like that. I mean, I guess he got too anxious looking to sort of be the hero on a play.
And part of it is that, like, with guys coming at you all game in the pocket, he probably expected someone to get there sooner or later in the back of his mind, knowing that the offensive line has been unable to block that defensive line all day. So he felt almost a need to roll out of the pocket.
There might be, it looks like there's somebody down on the field. We can't tell who it is.
I believe it's a Maverick player. No, it looks like it's a Wolverine player.
Number 52.
The Belen team is praying here. It looks like might be a bad injury. He's been down on the ground for a while. This would be very bad for this Belen team, especially in a game that's more or less settled.
So it looks like that could have possibly been Darian Torres. So that's only 52, I believe, on the field as of right now.
That would be a big loss for this Belen team. Young, powerful center who does a lot for both sides of the ball. Well, he has stood up, and it's very good to see him walking off the field under his own power. That's a super promising sign, as he doesn't have to be carted off or anything. That's a good sign for his injury. Second down and 10 here for the Mavericks.
And the pass is incomplete.
Wow, they have really struggled to complete screen passes today, which is something I've never really seen. I mean, just these little dump-off passes to the running backs have either been inaccurate or dropped, which, I mean, those screen passes are supposed to be 99% of the time completed. Those are supposed to be just to get your playmaker out in space, so it's been kind of weird to see them really struggle on those.
I mean, yeah, their quarterbacks really have had nothing going for them. I mean, bad throws, dropped passes.
And the defensive line is getting right there with the running back and the quarterback, causing some chaos and making it difficult to get that throw off in traffic.
Yeah, Jesse Mendizabal is having a really off game.
Setting up a huge 3rd and long for this Mavericks team.
10 minutes and a half left. Throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. There is nobody near that ball.
Seemed like maybe there should one of those two receivers that was running around the hash marks should have been on the outside. Maybe a miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Either that and just a really bad throw, because there was really no one even in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not even going to go for it. They realize what most people realize. This game is not looking too good. They're going to punt it. Belen's probably going to try and get a long drive here to chew the clock and just run this game out.
Victor Perez to return the punt. The true freshman. So here's the punt. Oh, and it's deflected. Takes a Mavericks bounce.
That's actually the second straight snap that punt has been partially blocked. As I see, they moved the punter closer to the long snapper due to his inabilities to snap the ball, costing them 2 safeties early this game.
Yeah, they've really struggled on special teams. And they've really found, like, nothing going offensively on any side of the ball.
Belen has dominated in offense, defense, special teams, and just mental capacity. The Mavericks have made so many unforced errors and cost themselves points. And when you're playing a team as good as Belen, you can't cost yourself those points. You need to go out there and play super efficiently and make sure that you win every point you can get.
Nice tackle there by number 55. Tyler Valia, number 44, with a nice run for the Wolverines.
And Marcos Ruiz with another carry for Belen Jesuit.
Broke a couple tackles there. Looks like a really, really shifty back. I'm very, very impressed by all these Belen running backs. Just the offensive line is creating holes, and these running backs are really hitting them with full force and getting open cuts in the field.
Mendoza, he's going to throw the ball up the middle, and it's caught. There he goes, and that's another Wolverines touchdown.
Looks like an RPO there. The Mendoza had to read whether to hand the ball off or throw it. Made a perfect read, saw that the linebacker came up, the slant was wide open, and that just showcases the speed of these Belen receivers. I mean, some of the backups are in the game, and the safety had an angle on him, and he was just outrun, making it 44-0 Belen. So much for a long clock-chewing drive, as that's a 3-play drive and a touchdown.
As that play just showcased the speed and the athleticism that this receiving core has for the Wolverines.
Yeah, in previous years, this has been a team that just powers the ball and churns out a game. But right now, it's just been speed, athleticism, and just guys flying all over the field.
So a timeout by the Belen Wolverines.
Looks like they were missing a player on the field before that extra point.
It's currently 44-0. Just complete domination.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes left in the game. I mean, I think we can call this one. I feel pretty good about a Belen win, and just they've dominated. This is the best, probably the best game they could have played. If you're Don Chaney right now in your first game as full-time head coach, you are so proud of your team, so proud of your coaching staff. You're just absolutely beaming with joy because, I mean, the spread offense that you instituted, it's very tough to go from a power run offense to a spread offense in one offseason, and they've executed that with perfection.
Yeah, and there was plenty of seasons. I mean, I think it was decades of just having a run-heavy offense. And just like that in one offseason, just a few months, and the Wolverines are passing the ball, and they look very good with a true freshman quarterback. So the future looks bright for Andres Miares.
Yeah, it really helped that they found their guy in Mianes, who's a gunslinger, can throw the ball deep downfield, great arm, great accuracy. Those guys are rare, and finding your guy is a huge part of this spread offense.
And the kick is good. So it's 45-0. The Wolverines have a huge lead on the Mavericks.
I mean, they've just been great. There's no other way to put it. The offensive coordinator, it's just the play calling is unlike anything we've seen in years. The most creative Belen used to get was the inside run, and then they do the double handoff on the inside run. Now, throwback screens, cutback screens, deep passes, creative runs to the outside, creative blocking schemes. And the players look refreshed, fast. That defense, you saw it on that last play, that the Mavericks defense, the safety couldn't catch the wide receiver with a great angle because they're just exhausted with this Belen offense on the field so much. The defense is getting off the field. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, this has so far been one of the best Belen games I've ever watched. You know, just the dominance on offense and defense and just special teams also. You know, there's been a lot of mistakes that this both special teams units have caused.
Yeah, as good as Belen has played, the Mavericks have also been quite bad. I mean, unforced errors, really shooting themselves in the foot. And the way this Belen team is playing, that's not something you could afford to do. So I think part of it is that Belen is looking really good. Part of it is that this is not the best Maverick team. But overall, I'm saying this Belen team is poised for a great season.
So the upcoming game for the Wolverines is against Gulliver Prep, which is one of the best, one of the better football schools in Miami as of right now. They have a lot of talent on their team, a lot of future D1 players. So if you were one of these players, what would your mindset be going into this game?
I mean, that's a tough team filled with athletic guys. You got guys such as like 23 running back, 2020 class of 2023 running back Cedric Irvin, over these offers from Florida, Georgia. I mean, those are top schools in the country that you don't see very often. So that's a team that you can't take lightly. But Belen's probably the underdog, and you know you're looking to prove yourself. You have a chip on your shoulder. You came out there and dominated this team, surprised some people. Now go surprise some more people and prove that they're a true contender.
I agree. It'll be a very interesting game, as Gulliver's been pretty dominant over the past few years.
Yeah, last year Belen with their run-heavy offense went to Gulliver and got lost in an absolute beatdown. So it'll really be a good indicator of their year-to-year progress.
And if Gulliver also has a very talented quarterback in Carson Haggard, who's already received 2 D1 offers, including an offer from Southern Miss. So it'll be very interesting to see how the defense will match up in that game versus Gulliver. A lot of talent.
Yeah, that team has so many D1 players. And I mean, this Belen team produced about like 1 D1 player last year, and Don Chaney Jr., who signed at UM and was off to a great start this season. Probably one of the best players in Belen history, but they don't have that reputation of churning out D1 guys like Gulliver does and like Gulliver has on the team right now. So it's time to see if we can play with the best teams in the conference.
And yeah, that's a chip on the shoulder that Belen should have, you know, not being recognized as a football powerhouse as Gulliver is.
Exactly. They're trying to prove to the world that while Gulliver's that, Belen's better.
There goes Evan Gill, probably the most yards he's gained on a carry throughout the night.
Yeah, it's an 8-yard pickup. He had that 122-yarder where he showcased some nice athleticism, but it was called back for holding. That is probably the best run we've seen all game, which speaks to the way this defensive line has played for Belen. It's just been incredible.
It's 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. The Wolverines are up 45-0. And a nice stop there. So Evan Gill is mad at the line of scrimmage with the front 4 of the Wolverines.
Again, Belen with mostly backups in the game. I mean, this offensive line cannot get any push. The backup defensive linemen still are dominating just like the starting defensive linemen did. They were in the backfield right away and stopped Gill short. I mean, this team is very, very deep, and that's something that's really impressed me today. They're getting a timeout here on the field. With 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
So quick update on the Miami Heat game. They're currently in the playoffs versus the Boston Celtics in Game 5. They currently have a 21-15 lead with 1 minute and 52 seconds left in the first quarter.
If we win today, we're going to the finals, and that's something that would be really cool to see from a Miami team. Haven't had a lot of success in recent years.
Yeah, and that's a team that plays with a chip on their shoulder. They have a lot of disrespect from the media and just, you know, media outlets such as ESPN never really predicted them to go this far in the playoffs.
That's a 3rd down conversion for the Mavericks. Nice catch there. Nice rollout pass. It's just about reps. It's about developing the playbook right now, making adjustments. Just find out what works for this Mavericks team, because all game pretty much nothing has worked for them.
On the 46-yard line.
3 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock as of right now, as the Wolverines continue to dominate.
I mean, at this point, it's just about getting these players some reps for the Mavericks and trying to find out what works and just keep the clock running, get out of here. And obviously, they're going to have to rebound next game and fix something because tonight was a disaster for them.
Yeah, Belen just picked them apart on offense and defense. Evan Gill up the middle. Met at the line of scrimmage yet again.
Yeah, another run up the middle. We've been seeing that all game. And consistently, that Belen defense has been right there making penetration, clearing holes, making sure there are no holes, and just keeping that Evan Gill from getting the second level.
Second down and 10, no gain.
So it's a 2nd and 10 for the Mavericks.
Clock's still running, down to under 3 minutes now.
They're just going to let the clock run. You know, the game's pretty much over. It's 45-0.
I think it's very over. 45-0 with about 2 minutes left. I think the Mavericks recognize it and they're tired. The defense has had to contend with Belen's offense on the field all game. They just want to get out of here. Back to the locker room and regroup.
And Gill gets another carry, and oh, wait.
Looks like a play action there, and they just tried to lob it downfield, maybe give the receiver a chance to make a play. Perfect coverage, man-to-man press, ran with him the whole way and made a great play on the ball. Ball's also a little bit overthrown. That brings up 3rd down and 10 for this Mavericks offense.
I got very thrown off there by the play action.
It was a very convincing play action.
So 1:45 left now.
3rd down and 9 for the Mavericks.
So it's a 3rd and long, and the Mavericks have had a very tough time converting on 3rd down.
I want to say they've converted about 1 3rd down all game, and they've faced many.
Yeah. And the pass is incomplete. So 4th and 9. I wonder if they're going to punt it or go for it. Probably punt it because this game's practically over.
I expect them to punt it, bring out the punting unit, let Belen kneel a couple times, maybe run it a couple times up the middle, just end this game. Go back to the locker room if you're Don Chaney. You're telling your team, great job, guys. Executed the game plan perfectly, knew what to do, came in and did it, and just destroyed, obliterated this Mavericks team.
Timeout, Mavericks.
So timeout called by the Mavericks.
Looks like
it's just under a minute to go.
We would like to thank tonight's officials from the GMAC.
Great job today by everyone involved in the game, officials, coaches, players. Been a well-played game, especially for Belen, and just we're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. The refs did a fantastic job. Really, no bad calls. Really, did their job.
We'd also like to give a shout out to Anthony Perotti. It's his birthday today. He's struggling in the hospital, so if everybody could pray for him, that would be much appreciated. He really needs it. A lot of players have dedicated this game in honor of him and did a really, really good job honoring him. They've absolutely killed this Maverick team.
So the clock winding down. We got 35 seconds left. Mendoza is going to face pressure. Throws the ball downfield. It's incomplete.
Just like the whole game, faced pressure, had to force the throw downfield off his back foot, and just an incomplete pass there. Clock's running down to 18 seconds.
So that's pretty much the ball game. So the Wolverines win it 45-0 in dominating fashion. We saw the run game start off fantastic with Hayden Puente. Then we saw Alexander, the true freshman, come in. He did solid with whenever he got the opportunity.
I thought the run game really set up the pass game. They had to put a lot of guys in to stop Fuentes, so the deep pass was open. I mean, the clock hit zeros, it's game over, and this Belen team is off to a 1-0 start, and you really couldn't have asked for a better game.
Yeah, this Belen team, I mean, fantastic performance overall, both sides of the ball. I mean, really couldn't have played a better game. They pretty much played perfect on both sides. So,
just great game. Don Chaney has to be so happy with his team right now, and this sets up a big, big showdown next week at Gulliver. An in-state power who they'll try to take down and prove that they're a real contender for the league this year.
so thank you for tuning in to another edition of WBLN Sports Live, and we are tuning out.